Welcome to today's People to People. This month we're going to be with you every week as we celebrate African American history, which is essentially American history. First, we look back in time to 1965, where in Selma, Alabama, cameras captured racism in real time and changed the future of this country. WGN's Courtney Guzman has the story.
These are stories of heroism. They endured beatings and death threats, all in the name of evening the playing field for future African Americans. They now proudly call themselves Chicagoans, but the sacrifices they made in small town Alabama will live in the history books forever. It was March 7th, 1965, as cameras rolled on the chaos that unfolded in Selma, Alabama, a day forever known as Bloody Sunday.
That day, on Edmund Pettus Bridge on Bloody Sunday, when blood flowed like a river, I was there.
Former Chicago Alderman Dorothy Tillman, at the tender age of 16, joined the civil rights movement as a field organizer. Tillman among the 600 who attempted to cross the Edmund Pettus Bridge to protest blacks being denied the right to vote.
You could feel something. To the left of us was the Alabama River. To the right of us was the Alabama River. Behind us was the Brown's Chapel in defeat. In front of us was sea of blue, and we didn't know what was going to happen.
It'll be detrimental to your safety to continue this march, and I'm saying that this is an unlawful assembly. You are to disperse. You are ordered to disperse, go home, or go to your church.
Demonstrators met by an army of state and local police armed with tear gas, batons, and men mounted on horses. Tillman, like others, beaten and forced to retreat.
Their billy clubs was not like nightsticks. It was like a steel, like a piece of steel with a rubber on it. A rubber hose, you just...
The next day, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. spoke before a packed house at Selma's Brown Chapel, encouraging the distraught to press forward.
A man dies when he refuses to take a stand for that which is true. Yeah. So we're going to stand up right here amid horses. We're going to stand up right here in Alabama amid the billy club.
King's words, paired with the images from Bloody Sunday, spurred thousands like then 24-year-old Paul Adams to action.
There was a personal decision to get on the plane and fly to Atlanta and fly to Montgomery and have my cousin drive me to Selma, Alabama.
The Chicago resident made his way back to his home state to join Dr. King and the Southern Christian Leadership Conference in another attempt to cross the bridge. Much of the planning done inside this very church. I traveled the 750 miles down to Selma to see where history was made. Landmarks like the Edmund Pettus Bridge and Brown Chapel withstanding the test of time. It was inside this church where civil rights activists planned their marches. Brown Chapel is one of the crucial landmarks to the civil rights movement. In fact, this was the stepping off point for the historic Bloody Sunday March. 2 weeks after Bloody Sunday, Dr. King would lead a successful 54-mile, 5-day trek from Selma to Montgomery.
I don't think the walking was the problem. The problem was, would you make it? Would somebody, somebody come by and blow your head off.
President Lyndon Johnson mobilizing the National Guard to protect those trying to cross the Edmund Pettus Bridge. More than 25,000 made it to Montgomery. These marches setting the stage for dynamic change. The Voting Rights Act of 1965 passed Congress less than 5 months later, ending obstacles for blacks trying to vote.
We stand on the shoulders of a lot of people, and I think it's our responsibility to push the next generation to the next level.
We must march. We must stand up.
You march those people into rural Alabama, it's got to be open season.
This stretch of history revived in the movie Selma, and it was in Selma where these superstars shared with me how this film has inspired them.
Justice for all just ain't specific enough. One son died, the spirit is revisiting us. True and living in us. Resistance is us.
We come from a tradition of people, not just black people, people that have fought for our freedom and we have that in us.
We were just trying to create a piece of work that raised the consciousness so that people could see the light in our history.
Far from the turmoil that put it on the map, today's Selma is a quiet town, so small it doesn't even have a movie theater. Many businesses and homes shuttered, and it seems all that's left are remnants of history.
This is where everything started. Dr. Martin King came here and he started. The people working, they marched for our right to vote.
It was an obstacle. It was something that we had to do.
The things that people are enjoying today is because of the commitment, you know, the commitment that we had, the commitment that Dr. King gave his life for.
On March 7th of this year, thousands will gather in Selma to mark Bloody Sunday during its Golden Jubilee March. It's a celebration that attracts civil rights leaders, politicians, and movie stars, all hoping to pay homage to those who sacrificed 50 years ago. Courtney Gooseman, WGN News.
Thank you, Courtney. And when we come back, more from one of the civil rights heroes you just saw in that piece. Dorothy Tillman, you all know her, alderman for 25 years here in Chicago. She joins us here in the studio. Stay with us.